The Amazon jungle, an area covering almost 7 million square kilometers with more than 390 billion trees. It's the place solely responsible for storing around 200 billion tons of carbon and releasing 20 billion tons of water into the atmosphere in just a single day. And of course, apart from its beautiful present, it has a history that goes back millions of years. So Amazon is bound to have some things that are a bit on the creepier and downright scary side. From weird fish to killer bugs, and some traditions you'd never want to be part of. This is the side of the story of Amazon that I doubt you've heard before. The fish that's been dubbed a vampire. If you've heard of vampires, you're either Team Edward Cullen or Team Damon Salvatore, but this fish has a category of its own. Many call this Amazonian resident Payara. Scientists know it as Hydrolicus scombroid, but most famous of all, it's called the vampire fish. Why, you ask? Well, take a look at its mouth. Those 6-inch fangs aren't just for show. They stick out from its lower jaw like nature's own set of daggers, giving it a rather sinister vibe. And even though it doesn't go straight for your jugular vein, but it does have a rather unique hunting technique. Instead of a quick bite, it prefers to skewer its prey with those fangs. And what's on the menu? Usually smaller fish that are unlucky enough to cross its path. Sizing up at around 1.5 to 3 feet long and weighing in at 5 to 20 pounds, these fish are no lightweight contenders. They're some of the meanest fighters you'll encounter in the Amazon basin. And of course, they're known for their aggressive nature, making them a real challenge for anglers looking for a thrill in the freshwater fishing scene of the Amazon basin. The plant the ancient Amazonians have been using to get high. Up next is a rare plant known as Ayahuasca, also called the vine of the soul. Ayahuasca isn't your average flora. No, sir, it's a powerful hallucinogenic plant that has been in the game for centuries. Legend has it that indigenous tribes in the Amazon have been using its mind-bending properties for ancient rituals and healing ceremonies. In the eyes of Amazonian cultures, ayahuasca isn't just a plant. It's a sacred plant, a teacher that guides and disciplines those who seek its wisdom. So, what's the secret recipe? It's a blend of two plants, the Psychotria viridis shrub and the Banisteriopsis carpi vine. Together, they create a concoction that's not for the faint-hearted. Consuming it is a journey that often involves fasting, abstaining from earthly pleasures, and embracing a lot of discomfort. Once that brew hits your lips, vivid technicolor dreamscape, check. Spiritual enlightenment, double check. And nausea is often a companion when it comes to consuming this plant. It's all part of the experience, they say. The beast that almost all tribes of the Amazon fear. In the rainforest, different tribes, even those who don't even speak any other language, all talk of a monstrous animal, a creature so scary it's spoken of in hushed tones. Some describe it as roaring, while others liken its presence to something fetid and foul. But commonly, it's known as mapinguari. Scientists have been trying to find this beast, but it doesn't have just one description. It's a 7-foot-tall behemoth, and it's so stinky that it can knock hunters off their feet. Some say it resembles a giant sloth covered in thick, matted fur that comes in shades of black or red. And if that's not enough to send shivers down your spine, it's even strong enough to twist off the heads of its prey and feast on their brains. Unlike your average monsters described by the tribes, the mapinguari isn't one to shy away from a confrontation. Oh no, this beast means business. Cross its path without respecting the jungle's rules, and you might just find yourself in serious trouble. And where did this creature come from, you ask? Well, legend has it that it was once a man who dared to seek immortality, only to be cursed and transformed into the shaggy, one-eyed beast the Amazon tribes know today. But here's the twist. Even though there have been numerous tales and sightings, no concrete evidence has ever been found. The assassin bug of the Amazon. You've surely heard of assassin bugs before, but the ones from Amazon are something else. Some of them can shoot venom from their eyes to stun other insects and just to make it creepier. Their venom contains compounds like hydrogen cyanide and cobra venom to quickly liquefy their prey and then suck it up like a slushie. The masked hunter, in its younger stages, has this ability to disguise itself as a ball of dust by covering its body with sticky hairs that catch lint and dust, making it blend right in with its surroundings. Some species even disguise themselves with ant carcasses to get close to their favorite prey, the ants and the bees. But here's the thing, some of them can transmit Chagas disease, which can cause heart failure in humans. And then there's the kissing bug and some other assassin bugs that feed on blood, even the human blood. Oh, and there are around 7,000 species of assassin bugs, making them the largest family in their order. Bullet ant ritual. And as if that's not scary enough, there are literal ants out there with venomous stings that can cause pain that will make you bawl your eyes out, give you temporary paralysis, and top it off with some uncontrollable shaking. They're even called 24-hour ants, because it takes about that long to get over the pain from their sting. These pain ants are none other than the bullet ants found in the wet neotropic areas of Central and South America. These little terrors can grow up to a massive size of 1.2 inches and are known for their reddish-black color. Even though they're not naturally aggressive, they won't hesitate to sting if they feel cornered or provoked. And watch out, because their sting contains a very strong neurotoxin. That sounds so scary, right? Well, to a certain tribe, these ants are the only to prove you've grown up to be a man. How? The Saterimor tribe in the Amazon rainforest has a traditional initiation practice where young boys have to bear the intense pain of bullet ant stings to become warriors. They weave hundreds of bullet ants into a glove made of leaves, with the stingers facing inwards, and the boys wear the glove on their hand for 10 minutes. And they have to do this 20 times to complete the initiation. That's some serious strength and endurance right there. The cannibalistic death ritual. The Yanomami tribe's way of saying goodbye to loved ones involves endocannibalism. It means exactly what you think it means. The close ones of the deceased actually consume their flesh, but only if they were part of the same kin group. For the Yanomami, death isn't just a natural part of life. They believe it's often the result of an evil spirit sent by a rival tribe's shaman. So, to quickly deal with the body, they opt for cremation, which they see as a liberating alternative to burial, where decomposition is a slow process. Now, before the cremation, the body is laid to rest in the forest for about a month or so, allowing nature to do its thing. Then comes the cremation ceremony, where the ashes are mixed with a special soup made from fermented bananas. Everyone in the community gets a taste of this mixture, passing around gourds until it's all consumed. It's like a communal farewell to guarantee the spirit of the departed lives on through generations. But if enemies kill a Yanomami man, the consumption of his ashes isn't rushed. Instead, it waits until the tribe believes justice has been served when the death is avenged. The ancient animal cave paintings of the Amazon. Amazon's history might actually date back even farther than we thought. In 2017, researchers from Britain and Colombia rediscovered a site and started studying some rock art there. A recent study from March 2021 provided evidence that the area was colonized around 12,600 to 11,800 years ago. The rock art found in Serranía de la Lindosa, Colombia, shows extinct megafauna that lived during the Ice Age. The paintings covered an 8-mile-long frieze. We're talking giant ground sloths with massive claws, elephant-like gomphotheres, and even some funky-looking horses and camelids. Oh, and did I mention the three-toed ungulate with a trunk? Yeah, it's got it all. But wait, there's more. Alongside these megafauna, the artists threw in a whole bunch of other critters like turtles, fish, jaguars, monkeys, and even porcupines. And they also captured scenes of humans getting their groove on with some epic dance moves. While the discovery is exciting, there's some controversy around the identification of the extinct megafauna, with some arguing that the paintings are too well preserved to be that old. But one thing we've learned every now and then is that we were seriously underestimating our ancestors. How the Amazonians came to call cassava mandioca. In Amazonian cultures, cassava is often called mandioca and is a staple in indigenous communities' daily lives. They used it to make flour, bread, and all sorts of dishes, and they prepare it in different ways, like frying, boiling, and roasting. In Brazil, it is even used to make cassava fries, which are a substitute for regular French fries. Well, how it came to be known as mandioca is, legend has it that the daughter of a local chief mysteriously got pregnant, even though she claimed she'd never been with a man. She was banished from the village and gave birth to a baby girl named Mani, who had really fair skin. When Mani died on her first birthday, a new plant sprouted on her grave. The villagers found out that the plant's insides were the same color as Mani's skin, and that's how they named it Mandioca, in her honor. The mushrooms that make Amazon glow. As amazing as it sounds, imagine just going about your night in Amazon. You find something glowing in the dark, and you have no idea about the modern development or light bulbs. How do you explain plants shining like the sun in the dark? I wouldn't know. But scientists do, and they're glow-in-the-dark mushrooms of the Amazon. These mushrooms light up through a chemical reaction involving luciferin and luciferase enzymes, and the glowing serves a purpose. It helps attract insects and other animals, which then spread the mushroom spores around. There's even a mushroom in Brazil that has an internal timer to control when it glows. Scientists have found that these glowing mushrooms attract way more insects than the non-glowing ones, so it's a pretty big deal in the forest. The explorer who disappeared in the Amazon looking for a lost city. Percy Fawcett was a British explorer who disappeared from the Amazon in 1925. How? Well, Fawcett was quite the adventurous fellow, making 7 expeditions to South America between 1906 and 1924. He was on the hunt for an ancient, lost city that he believed existed in the Amazon rainforest. The lost city of Z. In 1925, Fawcett set out with his son and a friend to search for this mysterious city, and unfortunately, they were never seen again. Many expeditions were sent out to find them over the years, but no one was able to locate them. It's estimated that over 100 people died in these rescue attempts. It turns out that some pretty cool archaeological discoveries in the Amazon seem to back up his theory. They found the ruins of Kuhikugu, a big complex of towns and villages that could have had 50,000 people living there. Maybe he really was onto something. The largest centipede species in the world. How can I talk about creepy stuff and not mention the Amazonian giant centipede, also known as Scolopendra gigantea, which is the largest centipede in the world? This creature can grow over a foot long and is found in South America and the Caribbean. It's a fierce predator, and its venomous fangs can take down creatures much larger than itself. It can even overpower tarantulas and small vertebrates like lizards, frogs, and mice. You can find this centipede in dark, damp places in the rainforest, and it's known to live for up to 15 years. You might think since you're human, you're invincible, but its bite can cause pain, swelling, and nausea in humans, and in rare cases, it can even be deadly. the underground river in the Amazon. I'm sure you know about the Amazon River, but did you know there's a river flowing beneath the Amazon as well? Yeah, it's called the Hamza River or Rio Hamza. Dr. Valia Manathal Hamza, a scientist from Kerala, made this incredible discovery. He and his team used geothermal data to find a massive river flowing underneath the surface in Brazil. It's not your typical river though, it's actually a massive aquifer, kind of like an underground river, and it runs parallel to the Amazon River at a lower level in the Earth's crust. The craziest part is that it's super wide, like 200 to 400 kilometers, but it flows at an incredibly slow speed, less than 1 mm per second. This thing is huge, about 6,000 kilometers long, and flows about 4 kilometers below the surface. The river has an estimated flow rate of 3,900 cubic meters per second, which is about 3% of the Amazon River's flow. It's like the Amazon River's secret twin. The world's smallest monkey. Not only is the Amazon home to the world's largest, but the tiniest things as well. And there you can find Pygmy marmoset, the world's smallest monkey, which is super tiny. Also known as finger monkeys, they belong to the New World monkey family. And they're so tiny that they can actually cling to a human finger because of their small size. These little guys are really something to see with their cream to brown fur and big expressive eyes. They mostly hang out in the rainforest treetops, munching on tree gum and using their sharp teeth to get to it. Even though they're small, they're actually really good at climbing and navigating the forest. They can leap over 30 times their body length in the treetops and move quickly using their sharp fingernails. They're also super good at spotting predators and communicating with their families through different sounds. These pocket monkeys are found in countries like Brazil, Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia, and they've adapted so well to their environment. Amazon's deadliest spider. The Amazon rainforest is also home to the Brazilian wandering spider, also known as Phonutria, and let me tell you, it's no friendly neighbor. This spider has been classified as the world's most venomous multiple times by Guinness World Records. Also, this spider is seriously venomous and aggressive. Its bite can be fatal to humans in under an hour. These spiders don't mess around. They don't bother with building webs like your typical spider. Nope, they prefer to roam around the jungle floor at night on the prowl for their next meal. And guess what? That puts humans right in their path. These spiders have some seriously potent venom that can cause extreme pain, muscle control loss, paralysis, and even death if not treated. The venom messes with the nervous system, causing all sorts of scary symptoms like double vision and irregular heartbeat. And it gets better. These spiders are known to be quite the fighters. Instead of scurrying away from threats, they stand their ground, ready to throw down. These spiders can get pretty big too, with a leg span of up to 18 centimeters. Combine that with their hairy appearance, and you've got yourself a real-life nightmare. Cannibalistic tadpoles. Cannibalism among tadpoles is actually a thing. It's pretty common in different species of frogs, especially in the neotropical poison frogs found in the Amazon rainforest. Studies have shown that tadpoles of these species are mainly carnivorous and feed on smaller tadpoles of the same species or even their own siblings. This behavior is a survival strategy, especially in the Amazon rainforest, where tadpoles compete intensely for resources. The presence of predators and parasites in the water bodies also puts pressure on them to resort to cannibalism. The magical tree of Amazon. The Lupuna tree, found in the Amazon jungle, is no ordinary tree. It's like the king of the jungle with a touch of magic and mystery. People say it's not just a tree. It's a guardian of the jungle. Legend has it that you're in for serious trouble if you disrespect this tree. One of the craziest beliefs about the Lupuna tree is that it can make your stomach swell up until your intestines burst. And some even believe that if you pee too close to the tree, you might end up sick. But despite all the spooky stuff, some people think they can actually use the tree's magic for their own benefit. They say the tree's sap can be used as a poison, and if you leave your enemy's stuff at the base of the tree, it might cause them harm. It's like the good, the bad, and the ugly, all rolled into one tree. The key, it seems, is to show respect to the Lupuna tree and the jungle it calls home. By doing that, some people believe they can tap into its magical powers and gain wisdom and strength. The huge seawater fish, with a creepy mythical past. The pirarucu, also known as the Arapaima, inhabits the freshwater rivers of the Amazon, and it can reach a whopping 3 meters in length and weigh over 485 pounds. But wait, there's more to this colossal fish. It's an omnivore with a pink, tapered tail, an oddly flattened head, and big, bulging eyes. And this strange fish can breathe air, which means it needs to come up for air every 20 minutes. It even has armor-like scales and is considered a delicacy in South American cuisine. Its boneless fish steaks are highly prized and sought after. But the cuisine isn't the only thing that this fish is part of. According to local legends, the pirarucu was once a human warrior from the Uayas tribe of the southwestern Amazon. The saddest story of the Pipipura people. And last but not least is the story of the Pipipura, an indigenous tribe in Brazil. They lived in extreme isolation and had very limited contact with the outside world, but they managed to maintain their traditional way of life for generations in the Amazon rainforest in Mato Grosso, Brazil. They were having the time of their lives until their survival was threatened by illegal logging, mining, and land encroachment. The destruction of their community began during the Amazon rubber boom and escalated during the Second World War. This led to clashes and the destruction of villages, resulting in a huge loss of life. Pipipura tribe had about 20 members when they were first contacted in the 1980s and chose to return to the forest after the contact. In 1998, 2 Pipipura men, Mandai and Tukan, came out of the forest on their own. Sadly, one of them had to be hospitalized. He shared a heartbreaking story about his people being massacred by white people. In 2021, a Brazilian judge ordered the allocation of 600,000 acres of land for the Pipipura to provide them with enough space to thrive away from modern life. At one point, only 3 individuals were left: Paki, Tamandua, and Rita. Now, 2 of them, Paki and Tamandua, are the last survivors. What a heartbreaking end to a legacy. Amazon is truly a world of its own. If you found these discoveries interesting and want to learn more like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if you have any creepy stories or fascinating facts about the Amazon, share them in the comments below. Until next time, see you in the next video.